The Class A championship game features a familiar face and a team never before in the Final Four. In their first ever trip off Long Island, Elmont Memorial has made it to the state championship. A balanced attack has been key to their run. Troy is no stranger to Final Four weekend. Their stifling zone defense and variety of offensive weapons helped the Flying Horses reach this point. Two of the top 10 teams in the state have made it to the title game. Elmont Memorial and Troy for the Class A crown coming up. Live from the Glens Falls Civic Center, Time Warner Cable Sports Channel presents the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Boys Basketball Championships. We tip off today's action in Class A as the Elmont Memorial Spartans take on the Troy Flying Horses. We welcome you here to Glens Falls. Robert Lee and Tom Herter, pleased to be back with you for day 2 of our boys championship action. 3 champions crowned in decisive fashion yesterday. Tom, today's first matchup is in Class A. Troy makes its first appearance in the Final Four and in this weekend. Since losing in the semis back in 2013, Flying Horses have never won the state championship. Elmont has never been this far, period. They've never made it off of Long Island and won the Long Island championship. Should be an intriguing matchup.
Absolutely, and yesterday we crowned 3 champions, and we always talk as the weekend progresses, the teams get bigger, the levels of school get larger. This should be an athletic event with these 2 teams.
Both teams strong winners yesterday. Let's see how they got here. Troy crushed Williamsville South by 39 points, and Elmont Memorial held off Byram Hills from Section 1, 50 to 48. Key players in today's game for Elmont Memorial: Travis Robinson Morgan, the team's leading scorer and assist man.
Well, low-scoring game yesterday. Morgan was huge when they needed him. Neither team shot the ball particularly well, but Morgan did a great job with those 12 points, leading them to the championship game.
Troy sophomore Daniel Bowie averages about 20 points a game.
Well, Bowie's been the leader of this team all season long, just a sophomore. He fills up the stat sheet, not only scoring, but also rebounding and assists. He is kind of the leader of this team in every facet. As he goes, Troy goes.
Let's play 2, front end of a doubleheader Class A title game. Elmont Memorial and Troy coming up on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. High school basketball on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By No Jane Brothers Supermarkets, proud to sponsor Central New York athletes. And by Northside Collision Centers, guaranteed quickest, guaranteed quality. Absolutely perfect weather on this Sunday afternoon in Glens Falls, New York, where the first of 2 games this afternoon will be contested in Class A boys basketball. Elmont Memorial against Troy. Starting lineups are brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Elmont Memorial will start 4 seniors: Yasir Lawrence, Darius Celestin, KC Ndefo, Jalen Burgess, and TRM, they call him, Travis Robinson Morgan, the team's leading scorer. For Troy, Ethan Evans along with Ryan Carmelo, Darius Holmes-Hines, Daniel Bowie, the player we just spotlighted, and big 6'11", Jack McLaren. Elmont led by head coach George Hollub in the middle of that huddle there. He's with his back to you, hunched over right now. You can recognize him easily with the big white beard. George Hollub in his 15th season as head coach of Elmont Memorial. And Troy led by head coach Rich Hurley in his 5th season with the Flying Horses. He was the head coach at Bishop McGinn in the Albany area, won the state championship with McGinn back in 2008, looking to lead Troy to its first ever state title. Troy is the designated home team today. They will wear the white jerseys. Elmont Memorial, the road team, in the black jerseys. See our officials today. And the tip is won by Troy, which will go on offense with a 20-5 record, representing Section 2, ranked 9th in New York State.
Zone defense for Elmont.
Daniel Bowie, the player we spotlighted earlier, number 12. Averages just over 20 points a game. Other player to look for, number 44, Jack McLaren. He's got the ball with the right elbow. Good traffic rebound there, brought down by Travis Robinson Morgan.
Good job of contesting that shot at the elbow. A very good defensive team. Their coach really preaches defense, wants them to lock in, whether it's offense or whether it's man-to-man or zone.
Taking the ball to the basket, flipping it up short was Yasir Lawrence. He gets his own rebound and a fresh shot clock. Robinson Morgan kicks it out for a Burgess three-pointer. Got the roll.
Great ball movement, second chance opportunity for Elmont. Good start for the Spartans.
Jalen Burgess averages 14 a game, number 5. Running the point, Ryan Carmelo, a 3-year varsity player. Jump shot by Evans blocked. Robinson Morgan forcing the issue here, now pulls it back out with the Spartans off to a 3-0 lead.
You could say that was a good closeout as well. Quickly blocking that shot.
Robinson Morgan doubles the lead. Quick start here for the Spartans, 6-0.
Well, what Elmont did yesterday in their semifinal victory against Byram Hills is really make a three-point shooting team move out further than they were comfortable. As we see Ryan Carmelo with a great dribble drive, splitting the 2 defenders up top and giving an easy one to his teammate McLaren with the finish. But Elmont likes to play defense where they make the other team uncomfortable, push them out a little bit further. They played against a three-point shooting team, and that team, Byram Hills, really struggled to shoot the ball yesterday. That's why they're in the championship game.
Elmont comes in 22-3, ranked 5th in the state in Class A. Representing Section 8, Nassau County. Flipping it up and in, KC and Defo.
3 different players for the Spartans have scored thus far.
Carmelo, wild shot. Rebound brought down by Burgess. Robinson Morgan, short on the 3, rebounded up and in. Jalen Burgess.
And right now, Elmont is just a little bit quicker to the loose basketballs, and they're getting the shots that they want to take.
Strong take to the basket and the score, Darius Holmes-Hines.
Well, they're going to need a lot of that against this extended zone defense. Good dribble drive along the baseline by Holmes-Hines, who's a strong player, good finisher around the basket.
Elmont Memorial leads 10-4 with under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Smooth jump shot is up and in for Jalen Burgess again. He's got 7.
And that's where Troy really needs to do a better job. They're allowing too many open shots in the paint.
Evans misses at the other end. Spartans lead 12-4. Wide open 3 from the corner. Air ball out of bounds off of Bowie. 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 12-4. Elmont Memorial leads Troy. Richard Hurley, the head coach, and George Hollab has to be happy with the start his team's gotten off to. Inbounds goes through the hands of Indefo. Lawrence in the paint. And now the Spartans will set up the offense with 16 to shoot. Down the lane, off glass. Burgess missed it, got his own rebound, put it back up. Volleying it on the glass for a score. KC and Defo.
Well, right now, Elmont having their way in the paint. Second chance opportunities, dribble drive opportunities, high post open looks. Things are too easy right now for Elmont if you're a Troy fan.
14-4. Contested jump shot, knocked down by Brandon Holmes. Timeout, Troy.
Well, Elmont had a great start to yesterday's game. It was a game they won just 50-48. First quarter, they led 18-5. It's the only quarter they won in yesterday's semifinal victory. So Elmont's used to these quick starts.
Fans, you can be a part of today's broadcast. Tweet us your picture supporting your favorite team. Send your fan cam picture to hashtag TWCFanCam. No matter where you're watching, we want to see how you're cheering for your team. Tweet your pick now, hashtag TWCFanCam. Richie Hurley, not happy with the way his team has started this game. Down 14-6, midway point of the first quarter.
Well, I think he's trying to light a fire under his big man, Jack McLaren, at 6'11". He's got to do a better job for Troy of being a presence in the paint, and he has not been a presence thus far. He's capable of it. Not off to a good start for McLaren, and hopefully for the Flying Horses. McLaren becomes a defensive rebounding presence. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Elmont Memorial, as Tom mentioned, beat Byram Hills from Section 1 yesterday, 50-48. Won the Long Island Championship over Harbor Fields of Section 11, 41-32.
Good job contesting that shot was Carmelo. Good rebound was McLaren.
Bowie turns it over, turned right back over. Holmes Hines has some room. Pulls it back out and will run the offense here with 3:20 to go in the first quarter.
I like the way he wears that mouthpiece. Never really seems like it's in his mouth.
Steph Curry style.
Yeah.
Ball just snatched out of the air by Indefo. Just took that ball away from the Troy player.
Well, Troy's trying to find their rhythm. They're trying to be aggressive at the offensive end, and to Elmont's credit, they've had an answer. They've been able to block shots, get some steals.
Travis Robinson Morgan missed the shot. Rebounded by Holmes Hines.
Well, the one player that has really stepped up his aggressiveness is Ryan Carmelo at the defensive end. He's done a good job contesting shots, and there's Bowie, the sophomore star for Troy, finding a seam in the defense and finishing in traffic.
His first two of the game. Daniel Bowie, the younger brother of former Bishop McGinn stars and college players as well. Taylor Battle, the all-time leading scorer at Penn State. And his brother, Teron Bowie, won a state title in 2008. And later on today, we'll be talking to their mother. Brian Sinkoff will talk to her. But Taylor Battle, one of the all-time greats in Big Ten history.
There's no question. He was so good at creating his own shots, so good at making deep shots. He was a special offensive player and had a great high school career for Rich Hurley.
All knocked away and stolen by Robinson Morgan.
Very quick, athletic team are the Spartans.
See the points in the paint even so far, but a couple of three-pointers the difference for Elmont as McLaren rebounds the miss. Troy pushing in transition. Beautiful pass, laying it up and in.
Tremendous pass after a great defensive rebound by McLaren. McLaren's had a few rebounds in the past minute. No surprise, Troy's starting to score.
One cousin to another, Brandon Holmes to Darius Holmes Hines for the score. One contact. Burgess unable to finish. Rebounded by Holmes.
Good job of contesting without fouling.
Offensive foul going the other way as Holmes Hines ran over the defender.
Well, the defender looked like he was there. I would say he was there.
Holmes Hines called for the charge, drawn by Lawrence. Troy has bounced back a little after a tough start.
Yeah, 6-0 run after their tough start, so the timeout worked. And you know, Richie Hurley on the sideline, he's going to work hard. He's going to work the officials hard. He's a high-energy coach. If his team plays with the same type of energy on the court, this is going to be a very entertaining game.
Victor Olowoye has checked into the game. Number 2 for Elmont. He didn't see the pass coming and goes out of bounds.
Well, you never want to pass to a cutter who's not looking at the basketball, and that's what just happened for Elmont as Lawrence just threw that ball away. So not only do we see a little change in momentum, but Troy's done a good job on the defensive glass, and now we see a turnover for the Spartans. Can Troy capitalize and continue this run?
Each team with 3 turnovers thus far.
Zone defense for the Spartans. Troy has been effective with some dribble penetration or feeding the high post.
Beautiful pass. The slam dunk and a foul.
Well, that's a big-time play. That's a big-time pass. It's a big-time finish. And that's what Rich Hurley wanted from his big man. A little bit of emotion and, of course, a great finish. He had one thing in mind when he caught that basketball, and that's all you want from a big man. When you see smaller players look at a 6'11" guy, they always say, oh, I would dunk it every time if I had his height. It's not that easy, but that time McLaren went to the rim with a purpose and finishes in a nice manner for Troy.
Foul on Lawrence, his first. McLaren unable to complete the three-point play. Rebound in Defo. 4 points for McLaren. Bad pass, turnover.
And again, that momentum still on Troy's side. Can they capitalize after the turnover? They just did.
In talking to Coach Hurley before the game, he said he really didn't know what to expect from his team this year. They lost about 90% of their offense from last year, really all 5 starters, an entirely new team. But he said they have certainly exceeded expectations this year as Daniel Bowie gives Troy the lead, and he says they're playing their best ball of the season right now.
There's no question they are, and Troy has the luxury of being a Class A school playing in a Double-A league, so they're always playing bigger schools, and what they have done is every game, every week, every month gotten better, and that's a big reason why they're in the state championship game.
Look at this hustle for the ball here, and it'll be a jump ball. The arrow will favor Elmont. Troy had some tough games to get to this point against Amsterdam in the sectional semifinals. Down with about 3 minutes left, rallied to win that game in the regionals. Beats CBA of Syracuse 54-51 in overtime. Did not struggle to win yesterday, doubling Williamsville south of Buffalo 78-39.
You don't see a lot of blowouts in the semifinal round, and that's what Troy had yesterday. We were wondering how they would react.
I believe three consecutive turnovers now for Elmont.
And Defo stepping out of bounds. That could have easily been a block, but he must have stepped out of bounds. So, like you said, another turnover. But Troy, I think maybe one of their best wins is possibly that CBA game. You know, obviously a very well-coached team, and Section 3 representative. Always a good battle in that regional between Section 2 and Section 3 out of Syracuse.
Olawoye, the foul, his first.
Plenty of time to get a shot off. And this was a game at one point that was 14-4. And Troy right now with this 11-0 run with this small lead.
15-14 with 4 seconds left. Get it in for Bowie. Takes it down the lane. Shoots it with a second left and a foul. 0.4 of a second left.
Good job of being aggressive, staying aggressive. Knew the clock. He knew he didn't have to jack up a 3 right away. 2 dribbles. It looked like a foul. Looked like he got knocked over.
Yasir Lawrence, number 1, picked up the foul, his second.
And that's, you could justify that call, because if you're going to call on a post defender, if he comes over the top a little bit, you're going to make that call. You have to make that call on a help defender, because he was leaning in, he was moving into the offensive play.
Two free throws for Bowie. 0.4 of a second left. Length of the court shot. Good if it goes. No, not good if it goes. Hit the back iron. Almost went down from about 75 feet away. A competitive first quarter. Elmont Memorial jumped out to a 14-4 lead, but Troy rallied back and closed the quarter on a 13-0 run. Flying Horses lead Elmont Memorial 17-14. Troy finishes the first quarter on a 13-0 run to take a 3-point lead. Brian Sinkoff has a very special guest.
Well, guys, we are joined by a happy mama over here, Denise Murphy. She is, of course, the mom of Daniel Bowie. How exciting is this for you to watch your boy tonight?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited. This is the 3rd time. This is my baby boy. Yeah. He's waited. He's been in the courts, on the court since he's been in the womb. So this was his day. And I mean, as a 10th grader, I'm really happy that he's here. So it's pretty exciting.
And of course, Denise referring to her other sons, Teron Bowie, who played at McGinn, led him to a title in 08, and Taylor Battle, who led McGinn to the finals in 07, all-time leading scorer at Penn State. Boy, talk about your sons playing hoops growing up. That must have been awesome to watch as a mom.
Every room in our house had a court. If it was an over-the-basket one, a homemade one, a milk cart, it was something. And they always played from sun up to sundown. And I never stopped. And as they got older and I couldn't take it anymore, I kept saying, this is what scholarships are made of, so just let them go.
Great. Well, we wish you luck. Get back to watching the game and being a mom. Guys, we send it back over to you at midcourt.
Her son, Daniel Bowie, just missed a 3. It's rebounded by DeBonis.
Anthony DeBonis, the senior, almost had a nice tip in his first action. Troy going a little bit bigger now, playing DeBonis and McLaren together.
6'11" and 6'5" in for McLaren. Missed the kind of one-timer there as he tried to flip it in. Bowie traveled. Bowie led the way with 7 points in that first quarter. Burgess had 7 for the Spartans.
Nice rebound and kick out by Brandon Holmes, but Bowie's mind was working quicker than his feet, or actually the opposite, and got the travel, the turnover.
Elmont Memorial. Struggled with turnovers towards the end of that first quarter. Haven't gotten a shot up in a couple of minutes of game action. The Spartans from Long Island, Nassau County, Elmont, New York. Probably best known as the home of Belmont Park, also near JFK Airport, as Oluwoye knocks down the three. Just over the Queens border in Long Island.
Big shot by Oluwoye. They had been at least 3 minutes without a score.
Elmont famous alumni. Marco Rivera is an NFL player, was an offensive lineman for the Green Bay Packers, as well as the Dallas Cowboys. Troy located about an hour south of Glens Falls, just outside of the state capital of Albany. Carmelo kicks it for a long jump shot by Brandon Holmes, rebounded by Oluwoye.
Good look for the Flying Horses. Good dribble drive by Carmelo and kick out.
Foot on the line jumper for Robinson Morgan. He's got 5.
He's their leading scorer, averages about 18 points a game.
Troy has some famous athletic alumni currently playing as well on the basketball side. Javion Oganyemi, former Troy High product, playing at Siena, the MAC Defensive Player of the Year and a second-team all-conference selection. But probably their most famous athletic export right now, Iowa running back Jordan Canzeri, who started for the Hawkeyes, who had an undefeated regular season this year. Canzeri was a Section 2 superstar in football as a running back. And is a bona fide NFL prospect.
Oh, he definitely paid his dues at Iowa to get on the field and had a great 50.
That ball pinned into the backboard beautifully by Tabanis. Troy running the other way with Carmelo. Tabanis tried to complete his own personal defense to offense. Now Elmont Memorial on the run. Burgess traveled.
The energy level of Tabanis off the bench has been spectacular. The entire bench is clapping for him. Great hustle by the senior. He's been so close on some of these tip-ins. He definitely was very close on the block.
He pinned that to the backboard.
Athletically,
play. Very athletic
play.
Troy in the white jerseys, Elmont in the black. And the Spartans from Nassau County lead it by 2. First ever trip to the state Final Four. Never won the Long Island Championship. Turnover.
Long post entry pass. Too long for this athletic, quick team of Elmont.
Celestin gets his first 2 points of the game. Extends the lead to 4. Long on the 3 for Holmes. Somehow the rebound comes away to Tabanis. He turns it over.
Trying to do a little too much right there. Did a great job of coming up with possession. Should have just waited, got to a guard.
Had no numbers there as all his teammates were running back to the defensive end of the court. So now Elmont on a bit of a run here. To start the second quarter, 7-0. Indefo. And out of bounds to Troy.
Good job of contesting that shot was Daniel Bowie at the elbow. In the first quarter, when Elmont scored those first 14 points, when they got that big 10-point lead, they had a lot of open shots, a few of them from that elbow position against the zone defense. That time the guard rotated down, did a good job of contesting the shot. This time an air ball, much different scenario. The Flying Horses have adjusted well against the offense of Elmont.
Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Closely played game so far. McLaren for a corner 3. Rebound tapped to TRM Travis Robinson Morgan. Robinson Morgan, a senior, listed at 5'10", averages almost 18 points and 6 assists a game. Do a good job getting it into the paint again. Blocked by McLaren. And Defo rejected.
Well, the first 4 minutes of the game, McLaren was almost invisible in this game. That has not been the case as of late.
McLaren in the lane. Good rebound by Indefo.
Tough shot there by an 8-foot jump hook.
Burgess runs over Bowie. Offensive foul. First foul on Burgess. Bowie was set up.
Good job of getting there quickly, getting his feet set, and then taking the contact. Not a lot of kids like to take contact like this. Bowie does a great job giving up his body. Turnover for the Spartans.
Certainly not against Burgess, who's a pretty well-built young man. Listed at 6'3". Had 11 points yesterday to Jalen Burgess, averages 14 a game. And leads the team with 7 points so far here today.
Well, you can also tell he's going to be a young man that's probably going to put on 20 or 30 pounds of muscle and be a force to be reckoned with. So good job of Bowie taking that charge.
Ball ripped away by Oluwoye, who's played well. Beautiful bounce pass to TRM, who lays it in. Robinson Morgan with 7.
This has been a game of runs. 9-0 run for the Spartans.
Troy turning it over repeatedly here. That's really been the story. Each team's runs have been fueled by turnovers by the other team.
No question. Troy had a 13-0 run to take the lead in the first quarter. And now we see Elmont with this run they're on. But they get the foul in the corner. Not sure if that's going to be on Ndefo.
Yes, it is. They list that as his first. I've got it as a second, but we'll go with what they say. His first foul.
I always think you're right, by the way.
Pretty close tabs on these things. But there are 5 fouls called against Elmont already. Bowie short on the runner. Robinson Morgan.
Tough shot.
Check out Oluwoye, the rebound. This is Robinson Morgan. He traveled. Had such an open path to the basket. Hesitated for a moment. I think we like to see not a lot of whistles in this game. Only 1 foul against Troy, 5 against Elmont Memorial. 6 total late in the first half.
Well, when the coaches are on defense, they want to see less whistles. When their team's on offense, they want to see every whistle in their favor.
Right corner 3 is off the mark. Long rebound away to Bowie. Left corner 3. Count it, rolls it around and in. 10 points for Daniel Bowie, breaks the run.
Troy really needed that basket. Good hustle, keeping that possession alive.
Both teams shooting the 3 well. That was Troy's first point of the second quarter. Yeah, almost 2 minutes to go.
Ethan Evans did a good job of tipping that basketball to Bowie to keep the possession alive. Big answer and stop the run.
And Defo attacking McLaren, gets his own rebound. McLaren altering shots, volleyed around. Burgess has it. Burgess one dribble, foul. He'll go to the line.
A lot of contact on a lot of shots.
McLaren his first. Did a great job altering those shots. Ends up being called for the foul.
Well, what Troy needs is they need more than just one guy to rebound at the defensive end. Elmont is throwing 3 and 4 athletic players who are quick off their feet on the offensive glass. So Troy really needs it to be more than just Jack McLaren rebounding at the defensive end.
Burgess makes 1 of 2. And a timeout called by Elmont Memorial, 32nd timeout. The rights to this broadcast have been granted by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, representing high schools in New York State. Any rebroadcast or publication of this program without the written consent of the New York State Public High School Athletic Association and Time Warner Cable Sports Channel is strictly prohibited. Robert Lee, Tom Herter, Brian Sinkoff, our entire Time Warner Cable Sports Channel crew with you from Glens Falls, New York. 4th of 5 championship games this weekend. 3 games last night, and they were not the most competitive affairs you'll ever see in the state title game. In Class D, Oriskany 79, Mariah 54. Class C, total blowout, Middle Early College 82, Haldane 40. And in Class B, Olean beat Marlboro 56-45. The final game of 5 will be in Double-A coming up after this one. Middletown against the Aquinas Institute.
Olean's second trip to the final in 3 years?
I believe so.
And they got it done their second time around.
Did win it back in 08, 8 years ago. And their coach, Jeff Anastasia, was inducted into the State Basketball Hall of Fame this morning. Missed 3 by Bowie. McLaren the rebound, flips it in.
Nice play right there by McLaren. He's starting to garner some Division I interest. He makes plays like that. Coaches love that, and obviously has finished in the first quarter with the dunk. Division I coaches like that. You can't teach size. McLaren has that.
Coach Hurley said teams like Canisius and Fairfield out of the Magnus, a three-pointer is good for Burgess. He is 11. Canisius, Fairfield, UMass Lowell, St. Bonaventure have all showed interest in McLaren. That big 6'11" frame.
Third three-point field goal of the game for Elmont. Second one by Burgess.
He's got 11 points to lead all scorers. Another bad pass and a turnover. Indefo on the run. Indefo attacks the rim and scores.
Poor decision right there by Holmes-Hines, as he did not see Indefo, who was really denying the pass to the high post. We're going to get a nickel dimer on Olawoye.
It's his second, and the 6th against Elmont will not lead to free throws here with 52 seconds left.
Really has been a game of momentum and streaks. Elmont grabbed it early, relinquished it, and they definitely have it back right now. The second quarter has been all Spartans.
15-5 in favor of Elmont Memorial. Picking up the dribble, Carmelo. Holmes-Hines is fouled. That'll be called on Indefo to be his second.
Well, one thing teams have a tendency to do against a good zone defense is if you can't get the ball inside, they settle for deep shots. And that's exactly what Byram Hills did in the semifinal loss. And when Troy attacks the basket like that, they get far better opportunities. They get McLaren involved in the offense, and they have the athletes to finish. So that's a big basket or big point for Troy to break the run of the Spartans of Elmont.
Indefo goes out of the game. And Yasir Lawrence back in.
Elmont should be able to hold for the last shot of the half.
5-point lead. Elmont Memorial should go into the half with the lead. Behind a three-pronged attack, Burgess, Indefo, and Robinson Morgan have 24 of their 29 points. Final 12 seconds. Robinson Morgan sizing up Carmelo. Still 5 seconds left. Extra pass for the open three. Good offense, but unable to hit the shot. Yasir Lawrence to score at the end of the first half. Elmont Memorial 29, Troy 24.
Great ball movement on that possession. Both teams well coached. Both teams playing with a great deal of energy. Elmont delivers the first blow by winning the first half.
And won that second quarter 15-7 to take a 29-24 lead. Elmont Memorial, Section 8 out of Long Island, ranked 5th in the state. Let's head to Bryan with their head coach.
Coach, your comments, your thoughts on this first half? It's been a half of runs.
Yeah, we made a run, they made a run, and currently we're on kind of a back and forth mode right now.
Coach, what do you tell your club in this halftime here?
Got 16 minutes. Championship game. Give it all you got.
Simply stated, guys. We send it back over to you. Thank you, Coach.
A man, a few words.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
George Hollum, his team leads at 29-24. Halftime show coming up on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. High school basketball on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel is sponsored by Upstate University Hospital, by the Fox Auto Dealerships, and by SOS, Syracuse Orthopedic Specialists. SOS is Total Orthopedic Care. Halftime at the Glens Falls Civic Center with Elmont Memorial leading Troy 29-24. Each team had a double-figure scorer in that first half. Daniel Bowie for Troy led the way with 10 points.
Had 2 3-pointers, a few dribble drives to the basket. Against the zone defense, Bowie has to get lost a little bit more, get more shot attempts in the second half.
You see his work in that first half. Elmont Memorial powered by Jalen Burgess, who had 11 points a game high.
And there's the early jump shot from the mid-post. You saw him knock down a couple threes, some hustle plays on the offensive glass. Burgess has kind of shown a full repertoire in the first half.
6'3" senior has played well. Elmont Memorial shooting 46%, made half of their three-pointers. Not a lot of fouls or free throws in the game. Rebounding pretty even, and turnovers fueled both teams' runs.
Yeah, no question. Both teams would like to do a better job with the turnovers. I know Troy, with their size, would like to have more points in the paint and a rebounding advantage. They need that in the second half.
The score is Elmont Memorial 29 and Troy 24. We're back with more on the halftime show from the Glens Falls Civic Center on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Halftime of the Glens Falls Civic Center with Elmont Memorial leading Troy in the Class A championship game 29-24. As we heard before the half from Brian, it's been a game of runs. Elmont Memorial opened the first half on a 14-4 run. Troy closed the quarter on a 13-0 run. And then Troy didn't score for about the first 6 minutes of the second quarter.
Well, it was going to be interesting to see how the two teams reacted after their semifinal victories. Elmont really, they won the first quarter yesterday, didn't win another quarter, held on for a low-scoring win. Troy really didn't have a good game, meaning they blew out their opponent. So Troy has had a slow start. They fought back at the end of the first quarter, but the second quarter was all Elmont. So it'll be interesting to see what takes form in the second half, because this has been a back-and-forth game. And if the runs continue, you have to like Elmont's chances, because they look like the more athletic team getting out in transition.
Certainly more than any other game we've seen thus far this weekend. Feels like either team could win.
There's no question. And Troy has to find an answer against the zone defense of Elmont. The Spartans really take pride in their defense. It's a big reason why they're in the championship game. Troy has a little bit more size. They need to get McLaren involved. But to me, and I said this before, Bowie needs to get lost in the zone, meaning Elmont knows where he is and they're marking him. If Bowie gets lost and gets open a little bit, I think he could do some damage. He's a kid as a sophomore that can really fill it up and score.
Let's talk about some of those games that happened yesterday. We mentioned they weren't the most competitive affairs. Oriskany pulled away from Mariah to win that game by 25 points in Class D. Oriskany finishes undefeated. Class C, a lopsided affair. Middle Early College 82-40 over Haldane. And then Class B, Olean beat Marlboro by 11, but really Olean in control for most of that game. Ended up winning at 56-45. The final game will come up after this one, Middletown against the Aquinas Institute. Take a break. Be back with second half action in Class A. Elmont Memorial with a 5-point lead over Troy High. High school basketball on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Karuba Collision, the official collision repair provider of SU Athletics. Make the right decision. Insist on Karuba Collision. And by Krause Hospital. Remember these 4 words. Take me to Krause. 29-24, Elmont Memorial leads Troy. Moments ago, Brian Sinkoff caught up with Troy head coach Rich Hurley.
Coach, down by 5 here at the half. What did you tell your guys?
You know, we got to be more patient offensively. I think we can get good shots. We've gotten good shots. We haven't made them. Told them to slow down offensively. Get back to your mechanics. You know, and the shots are going to start falling. I also think our offense is, we are too far out. We got to be more aggressive, penetrating, get deeper on the court, and you know, stop. And then hopefully our shots will start falling.
Coach, this has been a game of runs. Yeah. Are you surprised by that?
I mean, you know, you don't know because you don't really see them during the year. I mean, I was happy the way that we responded. You know, it's 16 minutes left. I told them at the half, first state championship, let's go out and get it, leave it all on the line, and let's go.
All right, Coach, good luck. All right, that is Rich Hurley. Guys, we send it back over to you now.
Thank you, Brian. Both teams going for their first ever state championship. Troy made it to the semis in 2013. They were playing in Class AA at the time. Lost to Bishop Kearney in overtime. So Troy has never won the state title. Elmont Memorial has never even won the Long Island title. And they're making their first ever trip here to the Final Four. Hashtag your picture TWC Fan Cam on Twitter. Follow us at TWC Sports NY. See some fans getting in on the action here, taking in the game here this afternoon. Send us your photos. Hashtag at TWC FanCam. Both teams, both coaches use the same phrase in their interview with Brian. 16 minutes to go for a state title.
Yeah, I think any team in the state would welcome that opportunity. So tremendous opportunity for both of these teams. It has been a game of runs. And at the offensive end, it's interesting. Coaches really preach spacing on offense. Get better spacing. And Troy right now, they have too much spacing. They're really starting their offense too far away from the basket. It'll be interesting to see if they can catch closer to the three-point line and catch in the high post to try to solve this puzzle, which is the Elmont Spartans zone defense.
Robert Lee, Tom Herter, Brian Sinkoff, our entire crew with you from Glens Falls, New York. Start of the second half. Shot blocked by McLaren. Volleyed around. Comes away to Elmont Memorial's Celestin, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line. Something to keep an eye on here. Travis Robinson Morgan is not in the game for Elmont Memorial. He is on the bench to start the second half. He does not have a foul either. He's getting some water. He was behind the bench to start the second half, but he's sitting on the end of the bench right now. Celestin to the line.
Well, that was a lucky possession for the Spartans because the initial pass inside wasn't even intended for Celestin. He just happened to pick it up, that loose ball, and then they had a couple volleys after the block shot by McLaren. Elmont able to retain possession and get themselves to the line for those 2 big points.
Celestin has 4, and it's a 7-point lead. Awkward pass and another turnover.
Holmes-Hines again passing it to a player who really wasn't open.
Yasir Lawrence attacks the rim and missed the runner. Rebounded though by Olawoye, all 5'9" of them.
Troy really getting killed on the glass in the early going. It's exactly how the game started, and because of that, Anthony DeBonis is going to the scorer's table at 6'5" to come in the game for the Flying Horses.
Elmont Memorial in at 22-3. Jump shot tipped in by Burgess.
Zone defense, no one blocking out. Burgess, another big basket.
Troy enters the game at 20-5 from Section 2. It's a 9-point lead. Biggest lead of the game was 10 for either team, and that was for Elmont Memorial early, 14-4. Charlie slams his fist into the ground, not happy with the way that play turned out. And now with 10 on the shot clock, Bowie will look to create. He has his 3 blocked. Running out on the Olawoye ahead of the field. Missed the reverse layup. Rebound Bowie.
Not sure why he went to the reverse when he could have made it easily on the right side.
I think he heard footsteps, but probably could have gotten that shot away. Now Robinson Morgan set to check in. McLaren has the ball knocked away. Another turnover. Quick hands by Olawoye, who's played very well off the bench.
A lot of traffic on that post-entry feed. You never want a big man to have to put the ball to the floor when there's 6 hands close to the offensive player. McLaren at 6'11", that's a tough position to be in.
Pass underneath and Defo. Rebound volleyed to McLaren. 2-on-2 break, now 2-on-1. McLaren off the nice clear out by Evans.
Carmelo with the finish. Very athletic player, Ryan Carmelo. Troy needs to get going in transition, but first of all, they got to rebound the basketball. Big defensive rebound by McLaren.
Carmelo with the score there. Evans did a great job clearing out the defender. First 2 of the game for Carmelo. Olawoye, the quick 3. McLaren the rebound. Bowie, right corner 3. Tapped to Celestin. Celestin all the way to the basket, and he was fouled. It's going to be called against Troy.
Good hustle getting back by Ryan Carmelo. They're going to say he had the foul.
Olawoye out. Robinson Morgan comes in.
Just the 4th team foul, I believe, on Troy. Just 2 in the first half and now 2 in the early going of the 3rd quarter. 7-point
lead for Elmont Memorial. Not a shooting foul. Oloye will check out of the game, and Robinson Morgan, who had 7 points in that first half, he is the team's leading scorer. He's back in after somewhat unusually not starting the second half. He'll shoot a 3 and bury it. No, long two for Robinson Morgan, who's got 9 points right in off the bench.
Didn't take him long to pull the trigger. Again, he's Elmont's leading scorer, just about 18 points a game. Big basket.
He's got 9, extends the lead to 9. Nice pass inside from McLaren and a timeout.
Great pass by Ryan Carmelo. McLaren doing a good job of setting up shop in the short corner there. Back to the baseline. All he has to do is catch, rip through, and finish.
35-28. You see Rich Hurley in the middle of that huddle. He is not lacking for intensity.
He does not need to drink coffee, let's just say that.
Following the final buzzer, make sure you tune into Time Warner Cable Sports Channel 323 today at 5 for our NISFA Basketball Championship Show. We'll look back at all the highlights from both the boys and girls state title games. Plus, you'll hear from the winning coaches and players. That's the NISFA Basketball Championship Show today at 5 right here on your home for high school sports, Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Four and a half to go, third quarter. One of these teams will win its first ever state championship. This is being contested in Class A. Elmont Memorial, Nassau County leads Troy out of the Capital Region, 35-28. Burgess, just flipped it in, sort of shot put with one hand.
Nice touch, and that shot was actually contested. There's that mid-post field goal attempt by...
Huge hit by Tabanis on Robinson Morgan. He'll pick up the foul.
Yeah, I think that was far more acting than it was actual contact. There was definitely contact, but Robinson Morgan just sold that pretty well. I'm going to venture a guess the referee was not even looking. And he saw that out of the corner of his eye. You hate when those calls are made, but unless you're an Elmont fan.
It's a turnover for Troy. 9-point lead. They trap. And they almost cause a turnover. Tabanis does come away with it now. Head of the field, Carmelo. He'll lay it in.
Great defense, great trap by Troy. Great strength by Tabanis to get the ball to Bowie. And Troy showing some defensive life.
Points in the paint relatively even in this game. Troy breaks out a trap there and immediately leads to 2 points. 3.5 to go, third quarter. Burgess. Tabanis the rebound. Great job by the Elmont player amongst 2 Troy players to cause a jump ball. The arrow will go over to the Flying Horses.
Celestin doing a good job of hanging around, not giving up on that possession. Tabanis had the nice rebound, but couldn't quite corral it.
Troy led very briefly in this game. Towards the end of the first quarter and the start of the second quarter, Elmont Memorial went on a run to start the second quarter and has not trailed since. Here late in the third quarter now.
Yeah, they started the second quarter with a 9-0 run, the Spartans did, and have held the lead ever since.
Nice pass. McLaren. Opportunity for a three-point play. Missed the bunny.
That's a great pass by Brandon Holmes, who just checked into the game. Holmes had a nice mid-range pull-up jump shot in the first half, and that time catching the ball at the high post, doing some damage. Had to respect his jump shot, but he found McLaren along the baseline. That would have been a great three-point play, but McLaren will have to earn it at the earned his 2 points at the foul.
Celestin the foul, his first. Points now for Jack McLaren. 16 and 10 yesterday against Williamsville South.
Troy calling out 22 red. I'm going to guess it's another trapping zone defense.
And they do trap in the corner. Traveling is called, another turnover.
Second time in a row, the trap has created a turnover for the Flying Horses.
They've scored 4 points in a row since falling behind by 9. And a chance to make it a one-possession game here. Both teams have really struggled with the turnovers today. It's been even, but really inopportune times and kind of coming in bunches for both teams.
Well, I think you have two teams that are pretty good defensively at forcing the turnover. So I think it's a strength of both teams, except for plays like that, where Brandon Holmes just didn't look the ball into his hands. But both teams kind of pride themselves at the defensive end and their ability to turn the other team over.
Timeout.
Good timeout right here.
Elmont will call a timeout.
George Holub doing a good job because he knows what's coming. I mean, 2 of the last 4 possessions, Troy has trapped the Spartans and they've turned the basketball over. So you know he's diagramming something that's going to help them break that trap.
Fans, you can be a part of today's broadcast. Tweet us your picture supporting your favorite team. Send your fan cam picture to hashtag TWCFanCam. No matter where you're watching, we want to see how you're cheering for your team. Tweet your pick now, hashtag TWCFanCam. Troy is trying to mount a rally here in the third quarter.
Well, they've gotten some points off turnovers. They've gotten some points in transition, and they found the big fella, McLaren, inside as we see that basket off of the turnover. But that's kind of it's going to be their recipe. They haven't shot the ball particularly well from the outside. They haven't had a lot of open looks from the three-point line. I said they need to get Daniel Bowie going. He is yet to score in the third quarter, but they've been able to cut into this Elmont lead, and they're right in the game.
Really extending this defense here. Broken by Elmont. Missed the layup, however. Quick shot by Celestin. Ball goes out of bounds to Troy.
Boy, Brandon Holmes right now is a little bit careless with the basketball. He's got to have a greater focus and strength, hold on to the basketball. That could have been a transition opportunity as Bowie was ahead of the pack.
Chance to cut it at 3 or possibly 2. The three-point shot has not been a big factor for either team. Carmelo, wild shot. Strong rebound by Indefo. He hasn't been heard from much in this third quarter. Lawrence. Oh, jam, Indefo.
No one is blocking out for the Flying Horses. Indefo with another big foul.
The big rebound and then the big follow dunk as Bowie buries the 3.
Huge answer. That young man, the sophomore, needs to get going for the Flying Horses if they're going to pull off a victory.
4-point lead as Troy tries to grab the momentum back. Final 2 minutes of the third quarter. See, neither team really shooting a lot of threes or making a lot. 4 makes for Elmont, 3 for Troy. And Defo, awkward pass. Celestin over his back. Ball knocked out of bounds with 12 on the shot clock. Holmes Hines back in for his cousin, Brandon Holmes. And Olawoye in for Celestin. And Defo was running to the sidelines, and Coach Holub said, "You're staying out there."
You're playing too well. You're not in foul trouble. Get out there.
10 on the shot clock. Olawoye directing traffic with 7 to shoot. Wide open at the free throw line. Burgess, the nice pass to Indefo.
And that's too easy. The wings of the zone defense for Troy. They're not collapsing to take away that baseline feed.
Nice high-low action there coming up on a minute left to go. 6-point lead. Holmes Hines. Rebound again by Indefo.
Good look, wide open look.
Lawrence attacks the rim, blocked by McLaren and a foul.
Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul. Clearing out on the drive.
And McLaren thought it was on him, as did I. George Holub couldn't believe the call. Third on Lawrence. Kept that left arm out and picks up his third foul. Final 50 seconds of the third quarter. Elmont Memorial led by 5 at halftime, now leads by 6. Turnover. Holmes, bad turnover. And Robinson Morgan is fouled. Holmes will come out of the game.
Under pressure defense, hard to throw chest passes. If that's a bounce pass, I think that gets to Carmelo. Costly turnover for the Flying Horses. They showed some life, they grabbed momentum, but the turnovers have been costly. And they really got to find more ways to get Bowie involved. I think Bowie has only attempted 2 shots in the third quarter. He averages 20 points a game.
Now Elmont Memorial can hold for 1, and they'll have the ball to start the fourth quarter. Barring a jump ball on this possession. A chance to really have a make-it-take-it situation and expand this 6-point lead. 20 seconds left, they'll hold for 1. Troy in the zone. To the free throw line again. Lawrence buries the jumper.
That's a big-time shot right there by Lawrence. Not an easy shot.
Steals it. Oh, almost 5 points in the final 3 seconds for Lawrence. And a strong finish to the quarter for Elmont Memorial. And the Spartans from Nassau County take an 8-point lead into the fourth and final quarter of the Class A state championship game on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. To the fourth and final quarter, Elmont Memorial leads Troy by 8. We head over to Brian.
Guys, we are joined by Bill Higgins. He is the basketball chairman for New York State Public High School Athletic Association. Bill, this is an exciting time for you, and I know sort of a sad time as Glens Falls, the memories here will end next year, this tournament going to Binghamton.
Yeah, it's been a great run here for my 26 years and beyond, and a lot of memories and a lot of great games like this weekend, a lot of tremendous atmosphere for basketball, but it's time for the next step.
Now, there's a lot that goes into planning this tournament, isn't there?
Yes, there is. We'll start, actually, right after it's over, we start sending 3 of our teams to the Federation, and we go on from here, and we're planning for the next year already.
All right, Bill, let's let you get back to the game. Thanks for your time.
Okay.
All right, Robert, Tom, back to you.
All right, Brian, 36th consecutive year here in Glens Falls for the boys basketball championships.
Well, Bill Higgins is a name synonymous with New York State basketball. Simply put, just a legend in New York State. And he's not doing it for the money. As most of the people that run these tournaments and volunteer their time do a tremendous job. A lot of care and effort goes into these tournaments. And Glens Falls has been a tremendous host for all these years.
2 teams bidding for their first ever state championship, battling here in Class A. Another turnover by the Flying Horses with 7:22 to go in the game.
It's tough to have a post-entry feed going away from a big man. McLaren's fighting for position, backing in his man. That pass has to be coming to him, not going away from him. If it was, I think he's got an easy layup.
Elmont won that third quarter 14-11. Lawrence gets his own rebound. Throws it into an open part of the court where it's corralled by Burgess.
Another offensive rebound for Elmont. That's the story of the game. Both teams have had turnovers. Both teams have made some three-point shots. Not a lot, but really the rebounding and offensive putbacks for the Spartans have been the difference.
Robinson Morgan cleared by Bowie.
Not a lot of guard defensive rebounds for Troy in this game as well.
Bowie looking to get on track here. He made a three-pointer late in that third quarter, has 13 points. Got to get him the ball. He's got it right now. Elmont really conscious, extending out on him to 25 feet. To McLaren. Strong move and a score.
Good move, good use of his body. Avoided the block shot by coming back to his right hand. McLaren with a good move.
Pulls the Flying Horses within 6. Troy really extending that defense here.
Well, they've picked their spots when trapping, and it's worked.
Robinson Morgan In and out. Rebound. McLaren the block. Out of bounds to Elmont. Is the intensity ratcheting up here late in the game?
Yeah, Elmont has been so consistent with their effort on the offensive glass. And when Troy has made a concerted effort to limit the second chance opportunities, they've taken control of the game, but there's been too many offensive rebounds by the Spartans.
Elmont struggling to shoot the three, and now foul in the open court as Carmelo was racing across the center stripe.
Well, that's where he's at his best. Ryan Carmelo is a very good athlete, very strong with the basketball. And you see him just turn on the Jets right there. Smart play to pick up another foul on Elmont, the fourth
on Lawrence.
On Lawrence, third team foul of the second half.
Lawrence will stay in there with 4 fouls. A senior. His team leads it 43-37. 2-possession game here. Travel on Holmes-Hines. Unforced turnover.
Yeah, the high post is wide open for Troy right now, but I'm not sure they have the confidence to get the ball to Ethan Evans. He is standing wide open.
Celestin in for Lawrence, who has those 4 fouls. 5:45 to go. Trap. Wide open. Celestin lays it in. Great job by Burgess.
Yeah, that's a good pass by Burgess. Celestin just made a nice cut to an open spot.
Foiling that trap, which had given them problems earlier. Carmelo, a big 3. Burgess taps the rebound out to his teammate Celestin. Now 2-on-1 break. And Olawoye will pull it back out. 8-point lead.
That's how we started this quarter.
17 turnovers now for Troy. Burgess, the mid-range jumper.
Elmont's going to be tough to beat if Burgess is going to make shots like that. That's hard to guard for McLaren to come all the way up, have the quickness to stay with Burgess if he goes one dribble pull-up.
Burgess with 17. McLaren blocked and foul.
Great drive by Holmes-Hines. Great feed. In Troy right now, their margin for error is really diminishing. You almost need McLaren to make that and get the 3-point play.
And Defo, his third. Really a race to, let's say, 55 right now.
Yeah, you know what? In the second quarter, I was thinking 60. I think it still might be 60, and that's a lot of points for Troy to make up.
And critical free throws here for McLaren as Holmes in for Evans.
But 55 might get it done as well. So I'm not sure Troy has 18 points in them against this Elmont defense in the next 5 minutes.
McLaren has 13 points. Tied with Bowie for the team lead.
2 things have to happen. Troy needs to start making some threes and getting themselves to the foul line so the clock stops.
McLaren, the emphatic block of Indefo. Now 2-on-1 break with Bowie. He'll attack the rim, and before the shot, he was fouled. Now that is a good foul by Burgess, because Bowie was going to lay that in.
That's an impressive play in every facet. The block shot, the outlet, and then the blow-by. That's an athletic play by a developing sophomore. Bowie showing some talent in this game. I know he's not having the greatest offensive game he's had this season, but he definitely has flashes where he is very impressive.
Troy down by 9. Wide open, Holmes missed it. Celestin the rebound.
Left-handed shooter had to go to his right hand because of the block shot attempt. Good defense by Elmont.
Now the Spartans will look to run some time off the clock here. A little bit over 4 minutes to go in the game.
And this is where Troy, how much can they trap and still be effective and not give up easy baskets?
Olawoye hounded. Burgess. Celestin attacks. Back to Burgess, who lays it in.
Tremendous feed by Celestin. You don't often see that. Celestin, not a guard, not a lead player, makes the nice drop off to Burgess. Easy bucket. Once again, Troy not rotating defensively. McLaren can't play defense, be the only guy in the paint defensively for the Flying Horses.
Unselfish team.
Extremely well coached, unselfish.
Turnover. Olawoye batted it away. Olawoye lays it in. Biggest lead of the game for Elmont.
I think we're in timeout round right here for Troy.
Quick three. Rebound. And Defo. And now the Spartans will definitely look to run some time off the clock here, up by 13. Or not. Burgess. He's just a freight train.
That fell on deaf ears, that comment you made.
That's why I'm not leading the team out there. Easy to say sitting over here.
I think you've got some fatigue setting in for Troy as well. It's tough to come back from a deficit. You need a lot of energy. There hasn't been a lot of stoppages in play, so we've had up and down action. These foul shots are so important for Troy for two reasons. They need the points and they need the breather.
Carmelo to the line.
See if they can break out full court press after a made foul shot.
Rich Hurley looking to win his personal second state championship and the first in Troy High's history. Critical misses for Carmelo. And now you're to a point where Troy really can't let Elmont score even one more point if they want to win this game. Got to close the game on about a 13-0 run. Travel.
Presence of Jack McLaren forcing that travel. I'm going to go on a limb and say if Troy scores, we're going to get a quick timeout as soon as the basket goes in.
Under 3 minutes to go. Troy down by 13.
The key is they need to score.
Dangerous feed from McLaren. It's deflected to Holmes Hines, who lays it in. And Tom called it. Timeout.
That's a tough pass over the top. This is a very athletic Elmont team, and trying to throw the ball over the top to Jack McLaren, who's trying to hold someone off. Troy got a little bit lucky. They get the nice weak side lay-in. Two defenders there, leaves the wide open weak side.
Now the winner of this game will move on to the Federation Tournament next week. Will be contested at the Times Union Center in Albany. In Class A boys, that game will be played next Friday on the 18th against the winner of the Public School League from New York City, the PSAL. That championship is being contested later this afternoon between either Frederick Douglass or Telecommunications Arts and Technology of Brooklyn. One of those two teams will win the PSAL title and take on the winner here in the semifinals of the Federation Tournament in Albany next weekend. Our TWC fan cam, hashtag the pictures, TWC fan cam. See some folks enjoying the game here this evening, or this afternoon, I should say. Olean fan still getting a shout out for himself there. Good seats there for that young man. Hashtag TWC fan cam. Follow us on Twitter at TWC Sports NY. 11-point game here, front end of a doubleheader on this Sunday afternoon. Class AA coming up after this one. Aquinas against Middletown. Elmont with a 51-40 lead. Troy, full court press, looking to force turnovers to get back into this game. Robinson Morgan is fouled. That is just the 5th foul against Troy.
Well, the full court press, Troy goes to a 1-2-1-1. You cannot give up sideline advancement right there. And Brandon Holmes allowed Elmont to get up the sideline. That's a killer for a trapping defense because you got 3 defenders now behind the basketball. So they're lucky they had the foul called. So like you said, just the 5th. Here's a chance where you might be able to trap near midcourt.
Almost a steal. Olowoye comes up with a catch.
That was the opportunity they needed to take advantage of. That would have been a wide open layup.
Robinson Morgan, flashy play. He's got 11.
Tough shot right there by Robinson Morgan, but a very elusive dribble to get that look.
And now Robinson Morgan a steal. TRM they call him. He lays it in. Elmont on their way with a 15-point lead with 2 minutes to go.
Back-to-back baskets by the Spartans, leading scorer.
Holmes Hines blocked. Elmont Memorial in attack mode. And will now pull it back out near midcourt. The Spartans appear like they will win their first ever state championship with 1:35 to go.
They've done a great job of taking care of the basketball and capitalizing on the overplays by Troy.
Steal by Holmes. Stolen back. Fresh shot clock. Troy had 17 points in the first quarter. They've scored 23 since.
Great defensive effort by the Spartans.
7 points in the second quarter, 11 in the third quarter, and now 5 here in the fourth quarter. Tough finish for Robinson Morgan.
6 straight points.
Timeout, Troy.
When Troy can ill afford to give up any.
1 minute to go, and Elmont Memorial 1 minute away from winning its first state championship. Each of the last 3 years, Section 2, New York's capital region, has captured 3 of the 5 state championships in boys basketball. Troy was the only Section 2 team to reach the final, and it will be Section 8 taking home the title here.
And Rich Hurley is emptying his bench, making sure that he gets a lot of players into this game. Down 17, 1 minute to go. Probably the right thing to do.
Robinson Morgan with the exclamation point for Elmont.
Yeah, Robinson Morgan started the second half on the bench. We're not sure why. He checked into the game, hit a big, long 2-point basket, and he's made plays when the Spartans have needed him to. Tough shot right there. Great finish. The senior will go out in style.
So Section 3 won in Class D. Section 6 out of Buffalo, Western New York won Class C and B. And now to be Section 8, Nassau County to capture Class A. Sean Davis, a senior in the game for Troy, along with Derek Hoffmeister, a senior. He'll shoot a 3 and bury it. Derek Hoffmeister cuts the lead to 14. Troy will not foul here. 45 seconds left. Also in Dejon Hudson, a senior. We saw him on the football team for Troy High this fall. DeBonis is in there, a senior. And one more, junior Tyreek Dry. 13 on the shot clock. Final 25 seconds. Robinson Morgan for the cherry on top. And rebounded by Dry. And a foul. No, out of bounds. Out of bounds. 17 seconds to go. And the final score should be 57-43.
Elmont was impressive today. They're impressive at both ends. They really crashed the boards. I thought the offensive rebounds really hurt the Flying Horses. I thought Elmont's defense was superb, and they really got a lot of basketball out of a lot of players. Athletic team that defensively really bought in, and they hold a very good Troy team to just 43 points.
The Elmont Memorial Spartans of Nassau County, for the first time, they are state champions. Elmont Memorial beats Troy 57-43 to win its first New York State title.
Elmont with a dogfight in their semifinal victory. This one they win by 14 going away. Big second half for the Spartans.
George Holub and the Spartans had never reached the state semifinals, never reached the state Final Four, never won the Long Island Championship. This year, they not only do all those things, they go all the way for the state title. We're back with all the award winners after this. Elmont Memorial wins it 57-43 in the Class A championship game. (57-43), Elmont Memorial beats Troy. Let's go over to PA announcer Art Wexler with the awards.
Dejon Hudson. Sean Davis. Derek Hoffmeister. And to accept the Class A state finalist plaque, the head coach of the Troy Flying Horses, Richard Hurley. And now we'll recognize the 2016 Class A state champions from Elmont Memorial. Yasir Lawrence, Victor Olawoye, Darius Celestin, K.C. Nadefo, Jalen Burgess, Travis Robinson Morgan, Brian Jean Baptiste, Lerone Clark, Keaton Russell, Izzy Astacy, Ewan Edebar, Keyshawn Smith, David Moore, Joshua Reagan, Christian Gibson, and to accept the state championship plaque and ceremonial game ball, the head coach of the Elmont Memorial Spartans, George Holub. At this point, we ask both teams to return to their benches so that we may continue with the rest of the award ceremony. We ask all people not affiliated with the teams to please clear the court at this time. Thank you for your cooperation. The first award to be given is the Robert Cana Sportsmanship Award for Class A. And that goes to, from Elmont Memorial, Travis Robinson Morgan. We ask all these award winners to remain on the court for a photograph. Now for the presentation of the 2016 Class A All-Stars and Most Valuable Player. From Byram Hills High School, Matt Grohl. Any absent award winner will receive his plaque courtesy of his sectional representative. Our next all-tournament selection from Williamsville South High School, Graham Dolan. From Troy High School, Jack McLaren. From Elmont Memorial, K.C. Nadefo. From Troy High School, Daniel Bowie. And your 2016 Class A Most Valuable Player from Elmont Memorial, Jalen Burgess.
Well deserved, Jalen Burgess, the most valuable player of the Class A tournament, as Elmont Memorial wins its first ever state championship, beating Troy, pulling away down the stretch by a final score of 57-43. Take a break, be back to interview the winning team when we return. Elmont Memorial, the Class A champions. Final score, Elmont Memorial 57 and Troy 43 in the Class A championship game. Our player of the game, no surprise, was Elmont senior Jalen Burgess. He was in beast mode throughout.
Yeah, he had a big game. He knocked down some threes, 2 of 3 from downtown. Those 19.6 rebounds, 5 of which at the offensive end. A few steals, some assists, 3 assists, some block shots. He kind of did it all for Elmont. Very well coached, very well balanced team.
Burgess, his coach, are all with Brian.
All right, guys, here we are with the victorious team. Big win for them, 57-43. Elmont Memorial, you're the champions. We start with you, Jalen, MVP. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. This is unreal.
Talk a little bit about this game. It was a game of runs. You guys just seem really determined and focused. What was the difference, you think?
Coach's scouting report on the team. We knew we had to do coming in. We just executed.
This school has never won a Long Island championship, and now, of course, you'd never been to Glens Falls before this year. What does this mean for the school and the community now?
It's great for the community. It's all of the past players in the program that was built. So it's all up to them.
All right, let's turn over to your head coach, George Holland. Coach, congratulations to you. Did you ever I know you dreamed about it. Did you ever envision that this was possible with this club this year?
You know what, with these guys, even back in the summer and their work ethic over the summer workouts, it was just amazing. And I knew then they had it in them to make it this far. And then to come up here this weekend for the first time and come away with it, it's just the greatest feeling.
Coach, a lot has to be credited to you and your staff. You didn't have a lot of time to prepare for Troy, but Coach, the players said how well the game plan was. What was the difference today, you think?
Honestly, we've had this game plan for a number of teams this year. We just equate the game plan with certain teams we played already, so it's just recycling one from before.
All right,
we've seen teams with shooters, we've seen teams with bigs, and you know, we do what we do.
Coach, congratulations. You're bringing home a title for the first time. I know that's got to be a great feeling.
It is amazing to come home with a title with these boys.
All right, Coach, enjoy the ride back.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Yeah, they're the champions. Elmont, we send it back over to you guys.
All right, thanks, Brian. Take a look at the final stats in the game. The shooting pretty even. Big advantage on the glass for Elmont Memorial, which is a big factor in Troy. 21 costly turnovers. You look at the points off of those turnovers, a key factor as well. A couple final thoughts here. Robert Lee and Tom Herter with you courtside. Tom, the rebounding and the turnovers, really a lethal combination.
Yeah, that was a huge stat. I thought the rebounding advantage for Elmont was really at the offensive end. They really pounded the offensive glass, had a lot of second chance points, and then the turnovers were costly to Troy. The three-point field goal never became a factor really for either team, and after watching the two teams play, I think Troy needed to have a better game from downtown. They didn't against a very stingy zone defense of the Spartans.
Elmont really controlled that game from about midway through the second quarter all the way to the wire, and the Spartans win their first ever state championship. That was the first of two games here in Glens Falls this afternoon. We've got another game coming up. The final score here, that will wrap things up for the first of 2 sectional championship games this weekend. Class A champions, Elmont Memorial Spartans. The final score, Elmont Memorial 57, Troy 43. Second game coming up, Class AA, Middletown and Aquinas. For Tom Herter, Robert Lee saying so long. Thank you for watching. This has been a presentation of the New York State Public High School Athletic Association.